Good morning, students. So today we are going to start chapter 10 of our NCERT book, class 11, and that is cell cycle and cell division. This chapter we are going to explain you today. So as you all know, students, what we are going to study in this chapter, we are going to study about the types of cell division. You have learned in your previous classes that the cell division is broadly classified into two types, depending upon in what type of cells these cell divisions takes place. As you know that there are two phases in the life cycle of a living organism. One is the vegetative phase, that is solely concerned with the growth of the living organism. And second phase is known as the reproductive phase. So here we also have two types of cell division. Mitosis. Always remember, mitosis is a type of cell division that takes place in the vegetative cell of a living organism. Whereas the second type of cell division is meiosis, and this meiosis always takes place in the germ cells, or you can say reproductive cells. So here in this chapter, we are going to study about mitosis and meiosis in details. What are the various stages of these two cell divisions? What type of events that takes place during these cell divisions that we will be studying in this chapter. And beside this, we also learned about the significance of mitosis as well as meiosis. Here I am also going to tell you about detail the various phases of the cell cycle. Okay, student, let's start this chapter. So what is given in the introduction? In the introduction, it is given that all living organisms, whether they are the unicellular organism or the multicellular organism, they always start their life from a single cell. But it is quite amazing that the complex organisms or the complex bodies, they are also starting their life from the single cell. So how it happened? So this single cell, which is actually the initiator, it undergoes the period of growth and development. So many divisions takes place in this single cell, as a result of which at one time this cell it produce large number of cells and later form the multicellular body. So students always remember, from one parental cell, two daughter cells are formed. If we have a single parental cell, then that parental cell it undergoes cell division, and as a result of that cell division, how many daughter cells are formed? Two daughter cells are formed. So this type of cell division, which takes place in the vegetative cell, it is known as mitotic type of cell division, or simply you can call it as mitosis. Whereas when the living organism it reaches the stage of reproduction, after the stage of puberty, then the cell division takes place in the germ cells or the generative cells, or you can say reproductive cells. That type of cell division is known as meiosis. So students, always remember that growth, development as well as reproduction, these are the basic characteristics of any living organism, whether it may be a plant or it may be an animal. So all living organisms always enjoy the period of its growth, development, and later it reaches the stage of puberty. And after passing the stage of puberty, what happens? The living organism become capable of doing reproduction. So this is the initiation of their reproductive phase. So meiosis is the cell division which always takes place in germ cell. It is also known as reductional division. Why it is known as reductional division, you know very well that in meiosis, the chromosome number, it becomes half. That is, how many chromosomes are present there in species when that particular cell, it undergoes meiosis. Then the number of the chromosome, it remains half. That's why it is known as reductional division. Whereas mitosis, a cell division which takes place in vegetative cell and responsible for growth and development of cells. This division is known as equational division. It is known as equational division because Here the chromosome number do not changes. Whatever chromosome are present in the cell, that remains as it is. For example, you know, in human cells, or you can say human body, there are 23 pair of chromosomes. Out of these 22 chromosomes, they are the autosomes, and one pair uh, of sex chromosomes. So 22 chromosomes are autosomes, which are related with vegetative activities, and one pair is of sex chromosome. The total number of chromosome is how much? 46 chromosomes are there. So when mitosis takes place, then the number of these 46 chromosomes remain as it is, that is 46. But when the human body, after passing the stage of puberty, it reaches its reproductive phase, then both the male and the female, they have to produce gametes. And you know, gamete is a cell which always have haploid number of chromosomes. This means that the mother cell of these gametes, which may be the male gamete mother cell or the female gamete mother cell, their makeup is diploid. And when meiosis takes place in these gamete mother cells, they produce gametes, and these gametes, they have half the number of chromosomes and they are haploid. So students, as I have already told you, that growth and reproduction, they are the two type of activities which are the basic characteristics of living organism. A living cell must have to go into the phase of growth, and it also have to reproduce. Now the question is, why the cell has to be reproduced? So the answer behind this is that the parent cell always want to maintain the continuity of its species. Every parent want to maintain other offsprings like themselves. So they must have to go in the process of reproduction. And through reproduction, the parental cell, it divide and always form two daughter cells. So the process, it goes again and again. These daughter cells, they again do the growth in the similar fashion as the parent cell did earlier, and the daughter cell later, it also act as the parent cell, and then this parent cell, which is earlier daughter cells, they again goes into reproduction and give birth to the new daughter cell. So in this way, the generation of different species, it goes on increasing. Similarly, there is growth phase that is continuing among the species. So how you know that a particular cell has to be divided? As you know, there are so many cells that are present in a living organism. But one cell that has to undergo cell division, that can be easily identified because of larger increase in their size. Not only the size increases, here the amount of cytoplasm, it also increases. And you know that this cytoplasm is actually the center or the arena of all type of biochemical reactions. So the amount of the cytoplasm, it also get doubled, the size of the cell increases. And beside this, the number of organelles that are present in the cell, it also increased. Every organelle duplicate make its duplicate organelle. So the number of each and every organelle in the cell is also twice. Why this happen? Because you know that this parental cell later has to give birth to daughter cells. And for daughter cells, this parent cell do the necessary arrangements. This parent cell has to distribute different organelles to the daughter cell. It may be mitochondria, it may be endoplasmic reticulum, it may be Golgi apparatus, it may be centrioles in case of animal cell, vacuoles, whatever. Not only these organelles, you know that there is a very important organelle present in the center known as nucleus. So the daughter cell, they also have to receive the nucleus from the mother cell or the parent cell. Why? Because this nucleus, it acts as the control cell. So here in the process of cell division, not only the duplication of the cell organelles takes place, beside these, there is a division of nucleus also, and the distribution of the genetic material to the daughter cell. And you know that this genetic material are the nucleic acids such as DNA. So here in cell division, there are two types of process takes place side by side. One is the growth of the cell, where the number of the cell as well as the size of the cell increases. And second is the replication of the DNA. You know that DNA, it acts as the hereditary material. So the DNA helix is open and it makes the replicas so that these new daughter DNAs can be distributed to the upcoming daughter cells. Okay, student? See what is written in the introduction in your book, that every living organism starts the life from a single cell. And there are two things which are the characteristics of living organism. One is growth and another is reproduction. And whenever a single cell divide, it always forms how many daughter cells? Two daughter cells. And you know that each parent cell, it gives birth to daughter cell, two daughter cells. And these daughter cells, they later undergoes the process of growth again. They reach their adolescent phase and then they act as parents itself. And they also divide. After their growth period, they also divide and they form the new daughter cell. In this way, the cycle, it goes on repeating again and again. Okay, student, there is a very special term used here. What is cell cycle? So the sequence of the events by which a cell duplicates its genome and also synthesize the other constituents that are present in the cell. It may be the different type of cell organelles. And finally divide and give birth to daughter cells. So this whole process is known as the cell cycle. So three things mainly happen here. One is duplication of the genome, means replication of the DNA. Daughter replicas from DNA are formed and later they are distributed to the daughter cell. And then synthesis of the other constituents. This means how many cell organelles are present in the parent. These cell organelles, they also divide and they form other cell organelles which are similar to themselves. And also, what happened later on, when all the necessary arrangement they were done by the cells, then these cells they later divide and divide to form how many daughter cells? Two daughter cells. The students, here I have shown you the diagram of the cell division. See, this is the single parent cell. Then the single parent cell, it later divide, and in this way you can see the division takes place. All the cell organelles divide, nucleus divide. All right, beta. So here nucleus, division of the nucleus is known as the karyokinesis. The word karyon means nucleus. And later on, when the division of the nucleus it has done, the division of the cytoplasm takes place. So division of the cytoplasm is known as cytokinesis. And when the cytoplasm it is distributed between two daughter cells, then both of these daughter cells, they maintain their individual identity and they get separated from the parent cell. They have their own cell membrane, or you can say, if it is a plant cell, then cell wall, cell membrane is there. Okay, in the adjacent picture, what is visible to you? The phases of the cell cycle. So here we have different phases of the cell cycle. You know that the first phase of the cell cycle is the G1 phase or growth one phase. Sometimes it is known as gap one phase. Then we have S phase. Why it is known as S phase? So here S letter denotes the synthesis. So whose synthesis takes place here? So here the synthesis of the DNA takes place. Synthesis of the daughter DNA from the parent DNA. Okay. And after the synthesis phase, there is another phase. That is the G2 phase. It is known as gap 2 phase or growth 2 phase. So here one very, very special event takes place. You know that the cell has to undergo the process of cell division. It has to enter into the mitotic phase. So it is an expensive process. The cell needs energy. And for this purpose, the cell have to synthesize their own proteins. So here in the G2 phase, the synthesis of proteins takes place in the ribosomes, which are known as protein factories of the cell. So G2 phase is always concerned with the process of translation. You are well familiar with two terms, transcription and translation. Transcription always means the synthesis of messenger RNA from the parent DNA. All right. And translation means that from this messenger RNA later on proteins are formed. So these proteins, they are formed in the G2 phase, or you can say gap 2 phase of the cell cycle. We will study about this in detail later on. Okay, students, I have written some points about the cell cycle. So cell division is important part of the life of a living organism. So during cell division, I have explained you so many times. The cell divide, DNA replication takes place so that it can be distributed to the daughter cell, and growth of the cell, it is going side by side. All right. So DNA replication and cell growth, it takes place in a coordinated fashion, in a coordinated manner, so that the correct division and formation of the progeny cells takes place which have intact genome. Genome means genetic material. Okay. Now the cell growth, it is a continuous process, and during the cell growth, what happens, I have already explained you that there is increase in the cytoplasm of the cell. As a result, the cell size, it goes on increasing. Then DNA synthesis occurs, but DNA synthesis event is not a continuous process. It takes place one specific phase of the cell cycle, and you know that this phase is the synthetic phase, S phase of the cell cycle. Always remember. Then DNA, it is later when it forms its replicas. Then this DNA, daughter DNA, it is distributed to the daughter cells during the process of cell division. So always remember all of these events, whether it is cell growth, whether it is replication of the DNA, all of these events are under genetic control. There are certain genes which control all of these activities. Okay, students, we are going to study about the phases of the cell cycle. You know that the cell cycle, it is broadly divided into two main phases. One is the interphase. Interphase is actually that phase of the cell cycle where the cell do not enter into the cell division. So it is actually the phase when the cell, it prepare itself for the cell division. That means it is the phase before the cell division. When the cell is not dividing, it only do the necessary preparations. And you know what kind of preparation the cell has to do? That is replication of the DNA. So does the cell double the amount of DNA so that it can be later distributed to the daughter cells. The organelles, whatever is present in the parent cell, it also goes on doubling so that they can be easily passed on to the daughter cells. And the division of the later on nucleus has to take place. That's why all of these organelles, they are also double in their number. And when the cell, it undergoes in actual phase of division, then they can be easily distributed to the daughter cell. The second phase is known as the M phase, which is known as the mitotic phase or mitosis phase. So always remember, for example, if we have to give the example of a eukaryotic cell or human cell, the duration of the cell cycle, it varies from organism to organism. So human cells, they generally divide once in 24 hours. And also, if we have to consider the cell cycle in case of yeast cell, which is a unicellular fungus, then this cell cycle, it takes the duration of 90 minutes. Okay, see the flow chart of the cell cycle. So here all the phases of the interphase. You know that the first phase of the cell cycle is interphase, when the cell is not dividing. So this interphase, it is further divided into various phases. So three phases are there in interphase, that is G1 phase, S phase and G2 phase. So here I have written G1 phase, that is the phase that is related with growth and normal metabolic activities of the cell. So here it is totally concerned with growth. Growth of the cell takes place, that is increase in the size of the cell, increase in cytoplasm, increase in the number of cell organelles. and different type of metabolic activities it are also happening in the cell. Because of these biochemical reactions, certain products are to be formed so that they can be used in the later stage when the cell division takes place. So this is G1 phase or the first growth phase. Then we have S phase. S phase is concerned with the synthesis of the DNA. So here the parental stand of the DNA. You know that DNA is in the form of a double helix. So this double helical DNA, it opens, and both the stand of the DNA, they act as the guiding stand or the template stand. And with the help of these template stand, by the application of the enzyme DNA polymerase, the nitrogenous bases, they are attached one after the another by reading the complementary bases that are present on the guiding stand or the parent stand which act as the template. So student, here I want to tell you that if we have the structure of the DNA in the form of a double helix, so always remember the first stand of the DNA, it always run in 3' to 5' direction, and the second stand of DNA, it always run in 5' to 3' direction. This means the two strands of the DNA, they have opposite polarity. What is this polarity? Why it is known as 3' to 5' and first one, and second 5' to 3' and that we will study in 12th standard. Okay student, the third phase, that is the G2 phase. So G2 phase is the phase where the growth and preparation for mitosis takes place. It is the phase that is prior to mitosis. After this, the mitosis takes place. I have already told you that this phase is concerned with the synthesis of the proteins or the process of translation. And after the G2 phase, what happened? The second major phase of the cell cycle takes place, which is the M phase or the mitosis phase. So here the mitosis phase have the following type of stages. First stage is prophase stage, then we have metaphase stage, then anaphase stage is there, then telophase stage is there, and after telophase we have cytokinesis. So here the cytokinesis, which is the last stage of the mitosis, it takes place in a different manner in both plant cell and animal cell that we will study later on. Okay student, here I have written the basic phases of the cell cycle. I have explained so many times. M phase here stands for mitosis phase, which is actually the phase of cell division. Interphase, it represents the phase that is between two successive M phases. That means whenever a particular organism it takes birth, then that organism it enters into its growth period, which is actually the vegetative period. And during vegetative period, which cell division takes place? Mitosis. When this mitosis it complete, then there is an interval, and again the cell it prepare itself for the next division. And you know that if mitosis takes place and after that meiosis will start. So after the next division, cell division, and between the first, there is a phase present, and that is the interphase. And you also remember that this meiosis, which actually takes place in the germ cells or the reproductive cells after the stage of puberty. It is also of two types, that is meiosis 1, which is the actual meiosis, and it always takes place in reproductive cell. And second is meiosis 2, which is very much similar to mitosis, and it is related with the growth of the cells. Okay students, so here I have written one note. So in a 24-hour average duration of a cell cycle in human cell division, it only lasts for 1 hour. That means out of this 24 hours, 23 hours they are consumed for necessary preparation for this cell division, and 1 hour is only there for the cell division. So the process of cell division, it takes place in 1 hour only. So it is not a time consuming process. Okay student, here it is given the M phase. You know that M phase stands for mitosis phase. So mitosis phase, it always starts with the nuclear division. First of all, what happened? The division of the nucleus takes place, and that is known as karyokinesis. And later on, when the cytoplasm, it later distribute among the daughter cells, the division of the cytoplasm, it also completes. Then there is two daughter cells that came into existence. So here I have written the M phase starts with nuclear division, then corresponding to the separation of the daughter chromosome, because you know that in the nucleus chromatin fibers are there, but when the cell divide, then these chromatin fibers, they become chromosome, and these chromosomes, they attach themselves on the spindle fibers, which are generated by the centrioles. As one centrosome is present, but during cell division it divide and form two centrioles, and one out of these two centrioles, each centriole it move towards the different poles of the cell, and from these centrioles spindle fibers arise on which chromosome attached themselves. So division of this nucleus is known as karyokinesis. It is not only the division of nucleus but also the separation of the daughter chromosome. And later on, after the division of the nucleus, which is karyokinesis, the division of the cytoplasm takes. And this division of cytoplasm is known as cytokinesis today. So next phase I am going to repeat here is interphase. Interphase is also called as the resting phase. So here I have written it is the time during which the cell is preparing for division. The cell is doing growth. Growth is at the utmost level, and DNA replication, it also takes place simultaneously. So here the different diagrams are visible to you. See how much area is covered by the interphase. So it is a long phase because the cell has to do necessary preparation. And the mitosis phase, it occupies a very little area. That means it is of short duration. And within this short duration, the entire process of cell division it takes place. All right, student. So here it is elaborated in a very nice manner. So these are the different phases of the cell cycle which come under interphase. G1 phase, then we have S phase, we have G2 phase. All of these come under interphase. And here in mitosis, we have prophase stage, metaphase stage, anaphase stage, then telophase stage. And last, we have cytokinesis, that is the division of the cytoplasm. And after the division of the cytoplasm, the daughter cell, they get separated from the parent cell. And in this way, from a single parental cell, two daughter cells, they came into existence. That means one parent cell gave birth to two daughter cells. Okay, students, we are going to discuss here the various phases of the interphase in detail. As I have already give you an idea that G1 phase, gap1 phase. Here, this phase corresponds to the interval between mitosis and initiation of the DNA replication. So G1 phase, what happened? The growth of the cell takes place, and initiation of the DNA replication. Here, the DNA replication just start. And during this phase, the cell, it is very, very metabolically active, continuously grow, but it do not replicate its DNA. You know that the DNA replication, it takes place in the next phase, which is known as the S phase or the synthesis phase, synthetic phase. All right. So here what happened during this phase, DNA synthesis takes place. That is opening of the DNA helix and formation of two daughter DNA. So DNA here form their replicas, their copies. And how can you observe that this is the synthesis phase? So during this time, when you see the cell, the amount of the DNA per cell, it doubles. If initial amount of DNA here is denoted as 2C, then it later increases to 4C. Okay, student? So in the synthesis phase, there is no increase in the chromosome number. Always take it in your mind that there is increase in the amount of DNA, but the number of chromosome, it remains same. There is no increase in the number of chromosome. If 46 chromosomes are there, it remains 46. And if the cell has diploid, the cell or 2n the number of chromosome at the G1 phase, And even after the S phase, the number of chromosome, it remains the same. That is 12. So see, I have written one note here. In animal cells, during the S phase, DNA replication begins in the nucleus. And not only DNA replication here, the centrosome which present in the cell, this centrosome or centroid, it also duplicates in the cytoplasm. So one centrosome it divides to form how many centroids? 2 centroids, because you know that later these centroids they have to go towards the opposite poles and spindle fibers they arise from these. And during cell division, the chromosomes they attach themselves on these spindle fibers. Okay, student. Now we have G2 phase. So during the G2 phase, which is the growth phase 2, or you can say gap phase 2, protein synthesis is the major event. So here the process of translation takes place, but the growth of the cell, it still continues with the protein synthesis. And here I am going to introduce one very special term, that is the quiescent stage or the G0 stage. So quiescent word here is neutral. So there are some cells present in the adult animals which do not appear to exhibit division. For example, the heart cells. And there are also some of the other cells which occasionally divide. Whenever there is a need in the body of the organism, some cells they get damaged or injured. And whenever a demand is there, then only these cells divide. This means they divide on a specific occasion and they replace the injured cells or those cells which has lost due to injury or cell death. So these cells which actually are found in the reserve, these cells which do not show meristematic activities as usual. But whenever need is there, then they become meristematic, they divide, they replace the worn out cells or those cells which gets damaged due to injury or some other situation of cell death. These cells, they exit from the G1 phase, that is growth 1 phase, and they enter into an inactive stage. And that stage where these cells, they remain in the form of reserve, this stage is known as the quiescent stage. Okay, students, cells of this stage, they do not proliferate unless they are called to do so, unless there is a demand in the body of the organism. There is a requirement, there is a demand for these cells to divide to replace the worn out cells or to replace those cells which are dying or which are injured or wounded due to certain accidents or certain kind of stresses they faces in their habitat. Okay, students, that's all regarding the different phases of the cell cycle. So we will continue the topic of mitotic phase or mitosis and what are the various divisions of you can say various stages that comes under this mitosis that we will study in the next step. So I am very hopeful that the concept is very much clear to you. So have a nice day.